Welcome to Why Should I Invest? Developed by the International Collegiate Angels Network, or ICAN. At ICAN, we believe that campus-born ventures are today's most underappreciated asset class. Each podcast will spotlight a campus-born founder and the venture they're building. I'm going to ask the tough questions that investors would want to ask. Hi, I'm Dr. Duening. I'm here with Andreia Morais today, and she has a company called Unique Cookies. This is another episode of Why Should I Invest? Andreia, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came up with the idea for Unique Cookies?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm addicted to sugar. That's the reality. And when I think about Unique Cookies, the reason that I decide to open like a cookie company is because I want to make sure that people has the perfect dessert anytime they crave. There's so many times that I spend so much money in a dessert, even like in a good restaurant, like going in a bakery, and the consistency was not there. So with the Unique Cookie, it's frozen frosted cookies that last in your freezer for 2 months and ready anytime you crave. And for my background, I grew up in Brazil. I started working when I was 13 years old. I'm old. I have like 27 years of experience working like in many different fields, marketing, sales, being a manager. And I also opened business. One was a nail salon, very successful nail salon in Napa Valley. We closed due to COVID. And then I know it's crazy, but I opened a restaurant during COVID in Brazil, and actually it was a huge success. But my idea with the restaurant was just franchises. After I saw how difficult it was for one person to manage one restaurant, that's when I decided to pivot, get the recipes, making cookies.
Okay, so you're in the cookie business. How many different cookie recipes are you working on right now?
So the way that I wanted to run Unique Cookies, we have like 10 different recipes, but we want to slowly introduce to the public because with my research, just like it doesn't compare with like a high-end cookie, but just think about Oreo. Oreo, when they first started, they only have one flavor and become like a huge success. So I interview more than 10,000 people because I love crumble cookies. The whole how they started their business. And I was literally, don't tell Crumble, but I was literally outside their store buying cookies and just talking to people, see what they think. And the that I got from them was like, we like the cookies, but it's so hard to find the consistency, especially find the cookies that we actually really like because they rotate their cookies. So we want to introduce our cookies like it's slowly, but we have like 10 amazing recipes. We're starting with the chocolate chip cookies because it's the number one sold cookies in the whole entire world. And then we have the birthday cake cookies, which is like it's American people, they love that. And now we're going to introduce like 5 different flavors, seasonal flavors for the holidays. And then it's starting on January 1st because that's the time of the year that everybody is doing a diet. We're going to introduce our keto high protein cookies. We're going to have like hopefully a very good sales right now with the holidays, selling all the cookies for people to enjoy, like seasonal cookies. And then we're going to introduce our high protein, like Get Fit and Ready to Rock and Roll 2026.
Yeah, everybody indulges during the holidays, and then we try to tighten our belts after the holidays. The funny thing about the holidays is, if you have a gym, for example, the gym membership goes up dramatically after January 1st. I suppose the same thing with cookies. People want to reduce their caloric intake after they've indulged during the holidays. Is that correct?
It really is. We actually Unique Cookie got invited to go to talk in LA because they have like a program to help like small business. And as everybody know, like TikTok, it's amazing to market your business. And one of the things that I thought was very interesting is what I'm using to run my business right now. So it's starting like on November 1st, all the way to the end of remember, it's the time where people search on TikTok like for cookies, delicious food, and give it to one another. And it's starting exactly as January 1st. Everybody want to like diet product and then how to lose weight. We're using those numbers and the statistic to launch our business.
Yeah, that sounds great. Well, when I think of the cookie business, I'm thinking of Mrs. Fields cookies and, and I think of the other sweet treats that have made it, and some brands have popped up. It's really fascinating area. It seems to me like it's a very difficult space to enter. How do you differentiate your recipes and your flavors from all the other competing brands that are already out there?
That's a great question. So besides the consistency, one thing that I have learned through my whole life with the business that I have, or the nail salon, or the bakery and restaurant that I had in Brazil, people wanted to feel, you wanted people to feel connected to your brand. You know what I mean? Like when they buy a cookie, they wanted to make sure that they're feeling that's more than like for the feedback that I have received, and I'm very grateful that I got the clients because it was exactly my plan. Like we pack the cookies like very nice and neat. We write like a little note for the clients. Like on our TikTok, we don't have like a full team right now, but the videos that we make, we're trying to do like a storytelling so people know how the cookies were made, what they mean for the people. Most important, I know sounds silly, but the cookie decoration class is not only very profitable, like 70 to 75% profit, but it's a way for you to actually introduce your cookies for the people. And that's the back on the brain, like next time they think about cookies, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I went to that place, I decorate some cookies, I have so much fun. And that brings like a connection between you and the public. And also like giving back to the community. We wanted to be like more involved as we can with the community. I already got approval from the city of Palo Alto. So during the holidays, we're going to put like 3 very cute little carts around town. So people can get buy the cookies one by one. But as you know, downtown Palo Alto has so many like venture capital firms and all the tech companies, they go over there for spend the holiday, have dinner. So it's a great way for us to actually introduce our business for the public and hopefully closing a deal with Facebook to sell like thousands of boxes of cookies for the holidays.
Yeah.
So that's the thing to do, like just give that our public is just connected to the brand.
Yeah, I can see a kind of an extortion business model. If you want to keep getting my cookies, give me some money, right? There's something like that. No, I'm teasing. So that brings up the business model. You've mentioned a few things, cookie carts. You also mentioned cooking classes. And I know that you also distribute these cookies as frozen packages that can last up to 2 months in the freezer. So let's unpack that business model a little bit. What are you starting with in terms of the distribution strategy, and then what are you going to sort of migrate to over time?
So we always going to have the cooking class because it's a very easy manage.
Where do you do the cooking classes? Where are you holding the cooking classes?
Do not have the location right now, so I have table chairs and everything that stays on the storage, and I have the kitchen that we rented where we're making the cookies for now. So the chef that got assigned for that job, we have somebody that goes and set up the tables, can be like at Google, can be like a People's Bakery at the park. So we go to places. They set up the table, do the event like 2 hours, and then put everything back in the storage.
Okay. So you're starting with the classes to try to introduce your recipes. And are you getting feedback on the product? I mean, are people really liking your cookies?
People really love we got like an amazing feedback from the public. They love our treats, and that we have like other people's like buying more the cookies, like to give as a gift to other people. So we besides that, we're not doing any marketing. Like we're just like building the business, and we're starting today as getting prepared to sell our cookies like B2B. We have our platforms open like a TikTok shop, like Shopify, and Amazon shop, like to sell like like everything's already open. But our main goal for this Christmas is to trying to sell B2B, because let's say our minimum package is like 50 boxes for a small business. Just think like about this owners, like they're very busy, they don't have time for anything, but they wanted to give like a meaningful gift for a customer that spent like thousands of dollars at their stores like all year round. With our cookies, they can put it, we can put like their brand, we can add like a beautiful message inside the box, and we deliver the cookies for them. We do not need to worry about anything. So I need 110 clients to buy the minimum of 50 boxes so I can hit my goal by December, which is $300,000 to close this year so I can be happy. Like that's a good launch for me.
Okay. All right. So let's imagine we get 110 clients. How are you going to produce the cookies to serve these clients?
Yeah, so we have a small kitchen to more like to make like as a sample to give to people, but we already have facts with manufacturers that we already tried the cookies that they made for us. So they're going to be making our cookies and we just deliver. So I can sell any amount of cookie right now because I have contact like many different manufacturers that they're ready to produce our cookie as soon as we place the order. Of course, it takes like 6 weeks to get ready. So for the cookies to be delivered. So that's why we're starting selling the Christmas cookies like right now. Wow. But at our, we can hire more people, and like each person can make like 500 cookies per day. So we can hire more people.
Yeah.
Sorry?
That's a lot of cookies.
So we can hire. Like it's for like to really understand the recipe and make it simple for them to make.
Yeah.
You know, like I haven't been baking since I was 7 years old. So I kind of like figured it out the way how to make them.
Okay. Yeah, you've got some really, really ambitious plans for the holiday season. You're thinking that you're going to be up to $1 million in sales over the next 6 months.
Yes, that's the goal. I know sounds crazy, but it's very ambitious. But I have done in the past. You know, like with my background, when I was working in photography, there was like when I first started, they have like 7 locations. They're literally like running out of business with my strategy that I brought to the company. Each store after a year was selling like $1 million, which $1 million reais, which that was back in Brazil, which was like my plan. And my restaurant that I grew, like I literally like building from nothing in a city that I didn't know anybody, you know, like we ended up becoming like one of the best restaurants in town. And our sales was not my goal, which was $1 million, but was 700,000, which was not too bad, you know, like, but so to build a company that people will want it and make sure that the clients will be coming back. I'm just looking for the right investor to build even faster, you know, like to hire like an amazing and to make like my goal become a reality.
Right. So tell me, if I was watching this podcast and I really got excited about, because I see a picture of your cookie in the background behind you there, and I wanted to order the cookie, could I go on Amazon and order the cookies right now?
You cannot at the moment. We have the platforms open, but we're going to like everything's already signed up. We're changing kitchens. We have like a chef that was making the cookies for us, and we're changing to have like our own kitchen, which I'm very excited. Which we're gonna start making our own cookies on next week.
Okay.
So we were waiting for the final license and approval, so I can start selling in bigger quantity. And the biggest reason I could sell it before because we have the permits and everything, but the biggest reason that we haven't started yet was the shipping. And Amazon and TikTok, they all get like a huge percentage of your sale. So I was like, wait, should I really put my cookie over there? You know, like, or should I try the B2B sales and get like the big commission, you know, like the biggest margin. But anyway, we decided to do it anyway. Especially for when we open to start selling the Christmas cookies, which is going to be like November 1st for the public.
November 1st. Okay.
all the platform is going to be open and selling. But for now, you can go to our website and order there.
Okay. And if I order cookies on your website, would I see them by November 1st or?
Usually we ship the cookies like in the next day.
Oh,
And we arrive
okay.
in business days.
Okay. And what's your website?
Uh,
Uniquecookies.net?
yes.
Yeah. And people can, I see you've got a little QR code there on your screen as well that people can go ahead and click on whatever website pops up.
Yeah. So the QR code, you can find like personal information. You can find
Okay.
our contact. You can find like my phone number, my email, and all the platforms for the business, like the website or TikTok or YouTube account, Instagram, etc. Anything that you need to know about the business is on
Right.
that.
Well, we look forward to tasting your cookies for sure. And you certainly seem like you have the energy and passion to bring this venture to reality. Who else do you have on your team right now?
Besides God, myself, I have hired. So I'm bootstrapping the company. So I need to be
Yeah,
very
right.
how I'm gonna make that work.
Uh-huh,
Doing with my contractors, like for the
uh-huh,
kitchen to cook or like the chefs, everything's like contract kind of based people. But I would interview like some amazing people to do the sales because the main
uh-huh.
build the business, we need people that's going to do like amazing job with the marketing team, like photos, videos and marketing, very strategic for our plan. And then salespeople, like I want to have people to sell like B2B to like hotels and Napa
Right.
Valley, the wineries, like so I would interview like everybody, but I haven't bought anybody to hire anybody on the team
Sure.
because very strategic with my money right now.
Okay.
Soon as we get the funds that the company needed, I already have amazing people to bring on board, and
Okay.
especially somebody to take care of our finances because as a restaurant manager, that doesn't matter how much money you make, you need to make sure that you keep most of the money and how you're going to work, how you can cut costs. So you need somebody to actually watch closely with us to make sure that we're making the right financial decisions.
Yeah, good. I like to hear that. And how much money are you currently raising?
We're raising $4 million to turn that to a $10 million.
$4 million, you said? Yeah. And how would you use that capital?
So we wanted to have like a bigger kitchen where we can make like 100,000 cookies per year on that kitchen. We need a home office, like a office or a home office, and I would love to have like a place. We're still gonna continue to do like cooking class at people's location, but I would love to have a place so we can have our own location to host because we
Yeah.
did do at my restaurant and people love it. Uh, Portion of that money, of course, is salespeople, marketing people, like the package and ads, like especially selling see, you need to make sure that if it doesn't matter if you have like an amazing product, people need to find your product, like so. That's how we're planning to use our money. And I already talked to some supermarkets, just if we could, like high-end supermarket, to bring your cookies there. And they don't have shelf space and freezers, so we need to get like freezers to provide for them. So I literally mapped out like the next 3 years with my finances statement, everything lined up like penny by penny, how we would spend the money and how can we make that money multiply.
Yeah, well, that's very interesting and well stated, by the way. And so I end each podcast with a very simple question, Andre. Why should I invest?
Because now is the time. I mean, not only that I know what I'm doing, I have been baking since I was 7 years old. I ran so many different business. Crumble Cookie, they become a $1 billion industry in 5 years and a half. And there's so many companies out there right now. In Sony Cookie, they got bought for 125,000 a million for only like after 2 years of operation. I know sounds crazy because it's not like I'm not building like some crazy AI or like some, but everybody loves cookies, like the industry is huge, and you should invest if you wanted to invest in a CEO that knows what she's doing, is passionate about my business, and together with the right investor, we can make that work.
Oh, wonderfully. Well said. Today we're talking to Andreia Morais with Unique Cookies. You can see them at uniquecookies.net. Thank you very much for joining us on the podcast today.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
For more information about how you can get involved in the ICAN mission, please contact me directly via email at tomdenning@icanhub.net.